Climate change. It's a big phrase which is usually thrown around without an explanation. We're usually associated with pollution and temperature rising. Climate change. It's where there is long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. These can occur naturally or by us. The average UK citizen produces 10 tonnes of carbon per year. Fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas are the biggest dangers towards climate change. We don't realise how simple actions such as driving cars and using electricity damage our climate. Year after year the production of CO2 increases, and these increases push the world's temperature up, melting our polar ice caps and increasing the world's sea level. This is caused by the greenhouse gas emissions blanketing the earth and trapping in the sun's heat. A variety of places has seen increased rainfall, resulting in more floods and intense rain, as well as more frequent heat waves. This has had a major impact on animal and plant life, shortening hunting periods, destroying habitats, or killing off the animals as a whole. A few years back we saw a massive fire throughout Australia, resulting in a loss of life for a lot of koalas. Events such as this seem to be ever increasing, and if we don't start to make a change, it could happen to us.
Take a minute and take in what wonderful plant life the world creates. This is what the world could look like if humans took care of the environment.
Now you've seen how nice the world is, you probably think why people are so oblivious to the damage they are doing. Most everyday activities that we do without a thought have an impact on our environment. Even something as small as littering can be devastating. The bad thing about littering is there's such an easy solution. Just put it in the bin. But you'd think people would follow that when every day you see people throwing litter onto the floor just because somebody else could do it. Litter takes a long time to decompose, and when it decomposes, it releases microparticles into the environment. Factories are a big cause of pollution in the air. One in particular, called BP, has one of the worst environmental records in history. They once pled guilty to the Clean Air Act and had to pay a £50 million fine. The faster the climate changes, the worse the effects will be, starting with droughts in really hot areas, fires as previously mentioned, and the death of wildlife. Storms will also become bigger and more frequent. After all, it's in the name climate change. It means the world will change. The average temperature is increased by 1.1 Celsius and will continue to increase if we don't put a stop to it. A group of countries came together and made the Paris Agreement to keep the temperature increase to below 1.5 Celsius, as things would get a lot worse than they are right now. There's a lot of things we can do to reduce climate change and have the world that we want. The main thing is to make our voices heard, preach to the people in power and show that change is needed, not just for us, but the animals and plant life too. We can bike instead of using the car, take less plane journeys, reduce our energy use, and plus, reduce our consumption and waste. This is just a start of making a better world for everyone. Use this as a start. Tell everybody to make these small changes, and we will see a world we and everyone else can be proud of. If you've enjoyed listening to this and want to hear more, Climatised Hull Edition is coming soon, with more where this came from.